First, we're going to start with the left ear. It's going to start, so here's the top of the page. This is the middle of the page. So we're going to start about halfway in between. It's going to go right here. And we're just going to do a slight diagonal down, just like that. Now we're going to go upward, like this. This is going to be his head, up, and then we're going to come back down a little bit, like that. And then we're going to go back up again, and this is his nose. He does have this little bump on his nose. And then we're going to go ahead and start the nose shape. And we're going to go down. And this is going to be his mouth. Now before we keep going, we're going to start doing some details so we can make sure that we got the right size going on over here. Because the nose is a certain size, the mouth is a certain size, and sometimes we may need to make some adjustments, and that's okay. That's why we have an eraser. So now let's go ahead and start the nose here. So this little bump, he's got, it like goes down here, it's like dark, goes back up, and then this is where his nose starts. Here, around up, and then it goes down like this. And that's where more of his mouth is, right? Now we have the nose size down basically. We're just gonna go ahead and finish off a little bit more details going on over here. It goes down in here, and don't worry too much about it yet, because the further along we get, the more adjustments we can make to the details. So now we're gonna go ahead and follow along that line we made, like that. This is his mouth. And let's go ahead and go like this and down like that. Okay. Now let's do this bottom, this area right here. So it goes down and then it goes across pretty straight. And then you go down again for his chin. There's his chin. There we go. There's the chin. Okay. Now let's get some of these teeth going in here. Remember, the little details here and there is good to add as we're going along so we can make adjustments to other things. So here's his teeth. I see like one big one, and then like two small ones, and then one really big one, which almost touches that top lip here. It's diagonal. And then I don't think these are teeth. I think it's like just like white spots in his mouth from like saliva or something. And then I do see a tooth right here, nice big tooth. And then I don't really see any more teeth. I see like lots of fur coming out, but for now let's just do that much. And yeah, I'm pretty happy so far with what we have. Now what we're going to do is we're gonna do a little adjustments with this mouth. So it's gonna go in and go down, and then it's gonna go up to meet over here like that. And all this is going to be darker, but for now, don't worry about that. It's gonna have some dark spots. We're just kind of getting the basics in first, okay? So let's look at that chin, and let's go ahead and add some little, call it little fur spots. So you're just gonna do little strokes, like tiny little thin triangles almost, just to make your way down to the bottom of the page. Just go all the way down to the bottom. Okay, great. Now we're going to go look at that ear again. So we have the basic outline all the way around. Now let's start focusing on this side a bit. Don't worry about the eye yet. Don't worry about the nose. Don't worry about finishing anything yet. It's just the basic outline for now. So now let's go over here to the ear. We're going to do this second line going down like that. Except I think the sizes are a little off. See, I'm seeing already the ear and the mouth are supposed to line up. So let me just adjust this. It's gonna need to be lower, like right like here. It's a bigger ear than I thought. So it's like that. And now we are going to add some details. So we're going to go up like this and go in like this, inward. And then we're going to go around like this. I'm just looking at the ear and trying to see dark spots. Wherever I see dark spots, I'm making marks. Here we go, around like that. And then this goes around like this. And this is going to be dark inside right here. Dark. Oh, I hear the baby. Dark, dark, dark. It goes around, kind of outlined. And then it goes like up here a little bit. More dark spots. Basically, I'm looking for dark spots. Not worrying about the light spots yet, because you don't have to do much for the light spots. We're going to go ahead and go upward like this, up. Okay, and then right here, there's this little like zigzag thing going on. So it goes like up, then it goes to the right, and then it goes up again like this. And then it meets like that. And then you color that in. Just don't go too dark for anything. Basically, always don't start heavy until towards the end. You can make more adjustments. It's kind of like when you think about cutting off hair, you can't put it back. So if you go really dark, it's really hard to fix that. It's better to start light and then get darker as you go. This goes up. There's a little dark spot like right here. Go ahead and color that in. Not too dark, and again. And then we're going to do some strokes going up, 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 up. Now ignore what I have here. This is like, ignore this, because this is where my page ends, okay? That's why I'm not drawing past it. This is just the end of the page, right? Let's do some strokes going up, 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 up. And then let's do some shading. So we're gonna go across like this way. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. You can do some thicker dark spots, like right there, do like a thicker one. Right here, do like a thicker one. Here, do a thicker one. So like 3 thick ones. And then this little triangle little spot kind of needs to be like a little bit of thicker one too. And then ones. Now over here, we have a lot of stuff going on, lots of furs going on over here. So we're gonna go ahead and do some fur. And then it's like, there's like this little rounded angle in the ear here. So we're gonna do some rounded strokes. You see that? Rounded. Like you're going in like a umbrella or like a rainbow. Rounded, rounded, rounded. And then we're gonna do some more darker strokes here. Darker strokes here and there. Don't worry too much about it, because we're probably gonna end up like smearing some of this, like use your finger and like smearing it so it looks more shaded. And here, we're gonna go to the top of this ear here and kind of outline the top here, dark. And then it just ends right around there. Don't go all the way to the top, because if you look at the picture, there's like a white layer, and I guess it's from the moon. It's the moonlight shining on this wolf. So just leave that, and then just add like some fur strokes going down like this. Now, don't worry too much about the ear right now, because again, we're just trying to get we're getting some details in now, but it's not that much, right? There's a lot more details going on in this page, so just try to stick around. All right, so Now what we're going to do is we're going to try to figure out this eye situation. So let's start here at the nose. We had this spot here we made, and it kind of like goes down this spot, and then it goes like up, and then around here, this is where your eye, it's not the eye itself, but it's like the dark spot around the eye it starts, and it's kind of like a diamond. So it goes like down like this, and then it goes up like that, and then this spot goes up like this, up, and then it goes around, it goes down like this. So this is like where the eye is going to go inside of. This is just the outside, and the eye, now we're going to try drawing it. I'm gonna zoom in on the picture so I can look at the shape a lot better, because this is very small. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the eyeball. So we're going to go like down here, goes like up. It's basically like a circle, but it's not exactly a circle, because like it's like the bottom is kind of flat. The bottom is flat and then it gets rounded. Okay, kind of like that. Rounded, rounded. So yeah, flat bottom and then round. And then we're gonna add that pupil. That's a big pupil. So go ahead and start here and go up and go down and then around, down. Now this can be dark. The pupil can be dark. Now, if you look at the picture, there's definitely some shading going on with the eye here. So you have the dark circle here for the pupil, but right around it, do like a lighter medium color, just surrounding the dark eyeball. Just so it kind of looks like it's not so straight on. So you have dark, 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 and then like medium dark around it. And then I'd say the top here, it's like a medium dark. And then leave like a gap here, because it's like white in the picture, because there's like the moonlight, right? Moonlight, and then it's medium dark down here. And this area right here is pretty light. I would just do like a very, 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 very light color. Doesn't need much. And now I'd say let's try to leave the eyeball alone for the most part. And we're going to go around the eye and we're going to darken this, because it's basically just black around the eye. So let's just darken around the eye, which will take a little bit. And we're going to dark, 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 dark around. And up. That little diamond we made, yeah, it's all dark. So we're just gonna darken that all. Okay, and it's a little pointed. Remember we said diamond, so it's a little pointed at the top here. So try to remember that. Okay, and if you ever feel like, oh, why did she do that? Then just make sure you're looking at the picture as well. So around here, it's a little bit more rounded down here. And then I do think I did go a little bit too diagonal. It is like, it goes like this, kind of like down. Remember I said we have our eraser, so I don't want this as much of a diagonal, just at the top there. And then we're going to go down a little bit like that. And now let's just do some little first strokes. So we're gonna do like these little triangle looking things, kinda. Just to give it some dimension, because right now it's just flat, right? We don't want that. That's not realistic looking. So we're just gonna do some like little silly looking eyelashes or something. It's basically just fur though. More and more fur. And then now I'm going to zoom back out so I can look at this again. We're going to go ahead and go down like this. There's a little teardrop, and we're going to go down. Try not to do straight lines. Try to just do like fur strokes when you're doing dark things, because this wolf doesn't really have lines. All right, now let's do that little eyebrow. So we have this eyebrow here. It is pretty dark, but my pencil doesn't get that dark, man. A little eyebrow. It looks kind of silly right now, but as we do more details, it won't look as silly, right? Okay, so now we have some of the eye details going. Let's go ahead and do some nose and mouth details, because the last bit is going to be like the fur stuff, because there's a lot of fur to look at and my brain needs a break sometimes. So we're going to go ahead and go this nose and darken our little spot here, but try not to go all the way to the top, because again, there's that like the moonlight, it kind of shines over it. Okay, so let's go to this nose and darken this. Okay, so we're gonna do here. There's this little like shape going on here, right, for the nose, and then it goes down, and then it's all dark inside there once you get that shape. Okay, there's a little like bump here, and then we're going to darken this but leave a little moonlight spot, and then darken this area. It is pretty dark. I just don't want to start too dark first until I have my shapes like really solid, because I think this nose needs to be a little bit larger like this, and then it goes up, yep, something like that. And now I'm gonna go dark on this nose area. Okay, and then we're going to do, so this is all pretty light, but it's not, well, it's pretty much white. It's basically white, so I'm just gonna leave that alone. We're going to go down here, thicken this line a bit, go down, and then yeah, here is our mouth. But before you color in the mouth black, you gotta do some fur strokes first. So let's do some little like whisker type things. And then what you're going to do is you're going to color around the whiskers. Don't color them in, because you want to see them because they're white. So as you go, whisker, color around it. Whiskers, color around it. This continues on as you go down over these teeth. Okay, go ahead and fill it in. Just don't fill in the whiskers. There's more whiskers going down here. It's just like fur, all the way down like this like area here. So I'm just gonna do like little fur strokes going down this little mouth here. Okay, and I'm going to finish coloring this part in. But remember, we have those little saliva like spots here. Try not to color those in dark, okay? Right by the teeth here, right here in this mouth area. Because yeah, those aren't all the way dark. And then it is like after that spot. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and color in. Just leave those little spots there, color in around here. I'm just gonna make sure I leave those little fur spots. I'm gonna go down here. It's pretty much as dark as can be. There are some little like things going on around here on his mouth. There's little like spots like a little bit lighter around here. That's not just dark, so watch out for those. And then same with around here, there's little white looking spots. And again, if you look at the picture, you will see what I am talking about. These little white spots. So don't color in the white spots, but you can color in the other spots, or the other areas, basically. Just leave the white spot. I'm just outlining basically around them and then coloring around those outlines. Doesn't have to be perfect. Just needs to have some variety. It's not just all dark, okay? That's basically it though. Okay. Again, I'm just circling around my spot and then filling in around that, so you don't forget about those spots. And it doesn't go all the way to the end. Again, it's white on this edge here. If you look at the picture, it's white. Okay. Doesn't have to be perfect. Keep that in mind. Keep reminding yourself. And I did miss a couple. There are a couple of whiskers around here, so I'm gonna go ahead and add those. There's like one here that goes down. Remember, we have an eraser, so don't freak out. It's not that thick, sorry. My pencil's getting really dull, so switch pencils. So it's like really, really thin. Oh, this pencil's about to break. This little whisker, yep, it's broken. Whiskers, and they don't look black right there, but I think they actually are black. They are black, but they can't be black behind this area right here, else you can't see them. So yeah, don't color them dark. Something like that. Now let's add some more whiskers. There's a lot. Let's look in this area now, right here. So we got a lot of the mouth going for us, which is good. There's definitely more whiskery things though, like especially on the outside. Just keep that in mind. Like around here, there's more whiskers going down and going down the chin. All over the place there's whiskers. So, but let's work on this area. So we darken that. We can darken this spot a little bit now. Right here around this eye, it goes dark like that. It's not super dark, it's pretty light strokes. And remember, we're doing like fur strokes, okay? There's like some outlines here that go down, another outline that goes up here. Something like that. Okay, and then yeah, this spot's pretty dark, but I don't want to start out too dark. I'm gonna work my way up. To it. It works too if you go in like different directions too. I think that looks good. This actually needs to go further down, like that. Same shape, but I just adjusted where it was at. And we're going to do some dark spots over here, so don't go all the way. There's still that moonlight. And then we're just going to go around these whiskers. There's a little dark around here. And remember, let's just do like kind of like stroke, 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 strokes, lots of strokes. Up, up, up. Goes around the nose. Dark, 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 dark. Strokes. Okay. All right, and now let's add some of these whiskers. So these ones we can go ahead and do black. So let's go ahead and do these whiskers black. And just do like a single stroke. Single strokes, okay? These ones, man, they look so thick compared. It's fine. And then around the whiskers, so I'm not like counting how many there are, but let's see. They're pretty long too, and they just kind of keep going. We have these little dark spots, and they're not like straight on circles, they're like ovals. At least some of them are. Okay. I wish these whiskers weren't so thick. I'd have to change this all up, but it's fine. More spots, but you hardly even see the whiskers. You mostly just see fur next to these spots, so I'm not going to worry about doing more whiskers there. Maybe just like a few dark spots, and then just go ahead and do a little fur strokes. Down, 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 down. Okay. Yeah, he's got a lot of fur. Now let's go back. So this area is getting closer to being finished. Just right now, oops, we need to go ahead and go next to this nose and do a little bit of shading around it, like a medium press, because it's not just lines. If you look at it again closely, there's definitely some things going on around it. And there's more spots up here too. More little spots like that. And then more fur. So much fur. I'm gonna go in the opposite direction too, really lightly, just to give some more things to it. And yeah, there's some spots I want to darken more, like around here, around this nose. I want this a little darker because it's not looking dark enough next to the fur strokes. And then I also want to darken right in here, this mouth. I feel like it needs to be darker. It's just tough because this pencil doesn't get very dark. And I don't like starting dark. And now we're going to add some fur strokes around his mouth. Okay, don't worry too much about it. In the grand scheme of things, it's not gonna look like much was going on there. Okay, now let's go back up here next to this eye. So it continues going downwards. Remember, we're doing strokes down, and then it goes back up. Up, 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 up. And it's just fur, lots of fur spots going on here. Some spots are darker than other spots, and yeah, so just try to pay attention to that. Go around. I'm doing strokes upward at this point, so starting at the bottom and going up. It doesn't really matter that much though, as long as you don't just like color it in. Don't just color it in. And I guess I didn't do little fur strokes coming off this eye on the bottom. I only did them on the top. I didn't realize that. And then do some shading around the eye on the right, this inner part, because it's a little darker there. And then yeah, make sure you have that spot. And then I'm just gonna like stroke in there. Okay, for now, let's just add a few more strokes going down in this area, in this nose, and then we're going to take a break from the nose area. Like, this is mostly done now, the nose. I'm gonna look at this area up here. So let's go ahead and add some strokes here, some shading a little bit. And then above this eye, there's some more shading, more fur. There's just so much fur. Lots of fur strokes. And it is like kind of darker here, so just do lots of fur strokes. And then right where this eyebrow is, it is darker. So the eyebrow is kind of like, I'm gonna go darker on this eyebrow. It's kind of the beginning of where things start darkening up on this head by the ear. So it's darker, and then it continues dark for quite a lot of time here. It goes like up. Don't go all the way to the edge. We're gonna go up, 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 up. We can't go too far over, huh? Before we keep going over here, we gotta get this little spot. So there's a spot that goes here. It goes up. And then around it, like kind of surrounds it because it's like a white spot that goes around it. And then it goes like around down, down. And then it's like a dark spot here, a dark spot. I guess it could have been higher up, but it's fine, a little bit higher. Because it starts high and goes down like that. And then yeah, we have this dark spot that goes like down. Sorry, I got sidetracked. We gotta work up here. So now that we have that, this needs to stay light. So you're just gonna do some first strokes going into it, but don't color it in. That's why we did it. Yeah. And then let's see. Yeah, around we have this dark spot. There is another dark spot around here too. So we have this going on, we have this. Now we need to add this one right here. It goes here, goes up, and then it goes in. Do some strokes going in, dark strokes. And then it goes down. And it goes around this. So I put this a little too low. It goes around it right here. Down, 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 lines. Lots of furs. And then it goes in like that. Another dark spot. Oh, there's so many dark spots. Okay, so back to this head. Remember, don't go all the way to the top. We're just gonna add some more strokes in this area now. Just remember not to go on that white spot there. We have another dark spot down here, and another dark spot here, and then more little spots. Lots of fur, lots of fur. But just pay attention to when it gets light again. It doesn't stay dark forever, because then it gets light in this area, right? We have a little spot around here, and then like whiskers, I think, or something's going on. And then we got lots of fur. So we're gonna do some light fur strokes. Light, 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 light. Let's go back up here. I know I keep getting sidetracked. So now we have the most dark spots already in here. I'm going to go ahead and do some light strokes going out. Try not to go too dark because this is supposed to be white. But when you're using a pencil like this, obviously you can't really be that specific with the white. So there is the fur strokes, and then just do some light strokes going into them. Around the eye, and then we're almost done around that area. And before we move on, we're gonna go back to this ear, and we're just gonna add some, I don't have enough strokes going on in here, so I'm gonna add some strokes going from this line we made, And this is more like just shading for me right now. I'm not really focusing on line the whole time. Just shading first, then I'm gonna do some strokes out of that. Like that. And then similar idea down here. This needs to be darker, like underneath. There's some shading going on here. And then around here, still same idea, dark spots, dark shading that we didn't do yet. More shading, dark. It's pretty dark around this area, so I'm not gonna worry too much about lines, just more just shading. And then there's lots of dark fur around here. So to save myself some time right now, I'm gonna mostly just do like shading, like coloring in, but it's not gonna be exact, because if you do it exact, it's not gonna look like fur. So it still is like lines, but I'm still going back and forth. See, back and forth, back and forth. And then instead of going like all in one area, like exact like this, like all, like see, like this is like one shade. We're gonna do like a variety. So we're gonna have some darker spots up here, and then like some gaps, and more dark, and more dark, and more dark, and it's kind of random. Try to make it kind of random, so it looks more like fur. So like more spots going up. I just do not want to spend so much time on this. And then this right here, we can focus more on making it look like fur around this area, this dark spots. He's got some dark spots around here. And then same idea, I'm just gonna do some shading, more dark spots around here. And this all could be dark, like a lot darker. It's just that like this pencil really doesn't get that dark. So I would rather start light and have to darken things up. Strokes going up and darkening things. Just looking at the picture to figure out what needs to be darker. How is this overall thing looking? Things like that. This probably needs to be darker too over here. I know I've done that multiple times already too, but you know, it happens. I want it to look like a mouth. Okay, let's go ahead and just lightly shade around here. Lightly, just because it's not like purely white and there is fur. So I'm trying to just make it like have some texture, okay? And then we're going to add another little whisker spot here, and then whisker coming out, whiskers. And there's like these little like spots here that go like across. You see that in the picture? It's really pretty, it's just kind of hard to draw, that's all. We're gonna go up. Oh, like, there's like, kind of like upward. It's going up. And then over here is like another dark spot, like that. And there's another dark spot. And should be darker too, but. And I'm gonna add some of these little whisker spots over here now on this chin. It's kind of hard to actually make these like realistic, honestly. Unless you literally, honestly, I would just do them dark. I would just do little lines coming out like this, because I think that looks more realistic than doing like thick lines. Don't do too many, not too many. And do them like short. Mine are too long. Okay, and then over here, same idea. I'm just gonna do dark, short. Like that. Okay, and there's a lot of details going into this like fur spots over here. So it goes like down, there's like these angles, it's like taking this like swirly, there's like swirls, there's like all these things going on in this fur. Just try your best to just kind of wing it, honestly. It doesn't have to be perfect as long as it somewhat resembles what's going on. Yeah, that's what I would do. I would just kind of wing it around here. And then again, I'm gonna darken some spots up as I go, because I can kind of tell the colors of things that I want certain areas darker. So yeah. Especially once you already have strokes for the fur, you can, for the most part, just kind of color over things lightly and just kind of see where, like, where the things change at, you know? Some areas you don't really want to like fully color in. Like this shouldn't just be white, like it needs some color. Now, where I'm at now, I'm gonna take a moment and take my finger and just kind of move things around. It looks, I feel like, a lot better whenever things are a little bit more smeared. Things actually start looking like fur that way, in my opinion. And we're gonna go around this eye. The whole eye can basically be shaded. Everything can be. Nose, everything, mouth, teeth, doesn't matter. Yeah. Now, I basically have my wolf pretty complete. I could spend a lot more time with shading and detailing, but it's relatively well from where I'm at in my mind. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna start focusing on this like moon trees situation going on. So let's go ahead and do the moon. So the moon is, it doesn't really matter, honestly. Just try to remember that right now, this picture, it should be relatively detailed already. So adding like details like the moon and stuff can be like taken with a grain of salt, right? So like this moon could be bigger than the picture, it could be smaller than the picture. I'm gonna do it pretty much similar sized, a little bit bigger than theirs. But I don't think that your judges are going to be looking and thinking, oh, they didn't do the right sized moon. So like, they're not going to look at your reference photo, so don't even worry about that. Yeah, so I'm going to work on this moon. Just try to follow along if you want. Can't see. It's not gonna be perfect. I don't have all day to make this exact. Just gonna make sure to color things in a bit. Shade lightly, because we're gonna just smear it all up in a sec. Okay, definitely improvising a bit here, but it's fine. I'm gonna go ahead and outline this a little bit darker. And I'm gonna take my finger and do shading inside. I'm just gonna go all around because just focus in more on the dark spots together, but it doesn't have to be perfectly white, so don't worry about it touching the white spots. My moon's basically done. And then I'm gonna go ahead and do just a few trees. I don't think I'm going to do this tree up here because I like that you can see the wolf personally. So I'm just gonna do like a big tree coming down here. Doesn't have to be perfect in my eyes, at least. And it does have like snow, so I'm gonna go ahead and do like little white spots. And then shade in a good amount here. Doesn't have to be perfect. This part, I feel like the details don't matter as much, in my opinion. Just gonna go ahead and shade it in again. I don't know how detailed you want this background, but I'm sure you can do whatever you want, and I will just give you what I'm doing. So here's some trees. Now there is a tree right under his chin, and I feel like this one is an important one because you can actually see like what is behind the tree if you actually go behind, like go around, kind of like what we did before with the whiskers. You kind of have to do that around here, around this chin furred area, and then fill in behind it again, if that makes sense. So I'm gonna go ahead and color in around that chin, around that neck, I guess you could say. It's not really a chin now. And then I'm gonna shade in the tree. All these trees can be like colored in however you want. You can do snow, you can do no snow. I'm not gonna worry about it too much right now. Okay, and I'm not sure what you want to do in the background. I'm gonna leave that how it is. And again, we could be adding more details. I don't have time to keep on doing this. So you keep on looking at the picture and doing your own details. I think I got most of them. It's just mostly this fur stuff that really I could spend a lot more time working on making it more like detailed and stuff, you know, so, but it's up to you how much time you have and how much time you want to put into it. If you want me to, tomorrow I could come back to this same drawing and then we could add more details to it. Just let me know if that's what you want, okay? And see, this is the thing, I could do this all day, right? Like I could go back and edit, like, yeah, it's editing in my eyes, but like adding more details here and there, and it just, you could do this all day, and that's kind of the issue. You could do something in the background or not. I don't know what you want in the background. So yeah, good luck, have fun, and let me know what you want to do next, okay? So you can see that-ish. Oh my goodness. Can't really see anymore. I moved the table so much. We'll see. There it is.